Hello in Minglaba, I am Henry Zin. Welcome to Myanmar Today. Our top stories and reports from around Myanmar. Around 500 guests enjoy the Swiss National Day in Yangon. Rights and job opportunity for disabled persons in Myanmar. New books launched by Gender Equality Network. Before we get to the reports, let's take a look at the latest local news. Vice President U Min Sui said that the main obstacle toward Myanmar's economy is the illegal trade sector. As the illegal trade sector still remains strong, it is a great hindrance to business conducted legally. He said this as chairman of the Private Sector Development Committee while addressing the 10th coordination meeting of the Private Sector Development Committee, PSDC, held at the Ministry of Commerce in Naypyidaw on Thursday. In addressing the meeting, the Vice President said that PSDC had been formed with 20 members by the notification of the Office of the President to accomplish 5 main tasks on October 24, 2016. 5 work committees led by 3 deputy ministers and 2 permanent secretaries had been formed to implement the committee's main tasks. From the 1st to the 9th meeting of the PSDC, 77 decisions were made, out of which 69 were implemented, while 8 were still being implemented. Relevant departments and organizations were urged to cooperate and work together towards completing the remaining 8 decisions by setting up a time frame. Union Minister for Information Dr. Phay Min held a meeting with cartoonists in Yangon on Thursday and sought advice from script creators to revitalize the newspapers and journals published by the Ministry of Information with the help of quality cartoons. At the meeting held at the Printing and Publishing Department, the Union Minister sought advice of cartoonists to revive the ministry's Shui Thui weekly comic journal to its former glory, promising that the ministry would turn the suggestions into reality. He also asked the artists to give their views on the publishing of cartoons in the ministry's dailies, the Myanmar Alin, the Mirror, and the Global New Light of Myanmar, and the Do Jeyua journal published by the Printing and Publishing Department. Union Minister for Ethnic Affairs Nai Tat Luin received a Vietnamese delegation led by the Central Committee member and permanent deputy head of Central Commission for Mass Mobilization in Naypyidaw on Thursday. Vietnamese Ambassador Dr. Luan Thuy Duong was also present at the meeting. During the meeting, the officials cordially made discussions on matters of establishing policies on socio-economic development of the 2 countries' ethnic people and in their regions, works on getting the ethnic people equal rights, equal development and unity by forming committees, creating job opportunities, conducting vocational classes and providing educational assistance. They also discussed matters on the ethnic people's literary culture development and traditional customs, cooperation with neighboring countries, and future cooperation on the ethnic affairs by exchanging experiences based on mutual respect, honesty, and faith. And that's all with the local news. Without delaying any further, let's dive right into our first report. Embassy of Switzerland in Myanmar organized the Swiss National Day at Melia Hotel in Yangon on Thursday. Around 500 guests, including Union Minister of Information Dr. Phay Min, Yangon Region Chief Minister, and Swiss diplomatic community and entrepreneurs attended the occasion. Akajo gives us more information on the event.
The Swiss National Day, which marks the 728th birthday of the Swiss Confederation, took place at Melia Hotel in Yangon. On Thursday, 1st August, the Embassy of Switzerland in Myanmar invited the Swiss community, representatives from Myanmar government, and the international community, Swiss business representatives, and non-governmental partners to celebrate the traditional Swiss National Day. Around 500 guests enjoyed lively exchanges over Swiss food and wine in a decor of the Swiss landscapes. Dr. U Phay Min, Union Minister of Information, graced the reception as the guest of honor as a sign of the close friendship between Switzerland and Myanmar. Date of 1st August refers to the historic alliance concluded in 1291 among 3 founding cantons of the Swiss Confederation, who pledged eternal allegiance to one another, promising mutual help and assistance. After the opening with the 2 countries' national anthems sung by a Myanmar a cappella group, both Ambassador Mr. Tim Anderlin and Dr. U Pei-mien stressed the strong ties between the 2 countries, which reach back to the beginning of Myanmar's independence. The ties between the 2 countries have significantly intensified since 2012 with the establishment of the Swiss embassy in Yangon. For more on the Swiss National Day and the bilateral tie, this is Ambassador Anderlin.
Switzerland was founded, according to the legend, 1291. This means 728 years ago. So it's an old country already somehow, but still a young democracy. Switzerland was founded initially by 3 of our cantons, that are the regions in our country, who decided in 1291 to come together to build an alliances against the powers from the outside. What we engage in as Switzerland right now is on the pillars of development with state building, peace, protection. That's one pillar. Another one is skills and market development, and the third one is health. We have humanitarian aid as well for the people who are most in need and most vulnerable in Myanmar. Apart from that, of course, there is the economy, which is developing in Myanmar. Myanmar also being part of one of the fast and most dynamic developing regions in the world, the ASEAN. And there certainly is an interest, and we hope a growing interest from Swiss companies, of which quite some are already present, and some of the big ones, Swiss companies, are present here in Myanmar.
Switzerland and Myanmar established diplomatic relations in 1957. As from 1990s, Switzerland has considerably and continuously stepped up its engagement in Myanmar in the area of development cooperation, emergency assistance, and peace building. Let's have a listen to a speech given by Dr. U Pei-mien, Union Minister of Information.
I recall with pleasure that Myanmar and Switzerland established diplomatic relations in 1957. Therefore, this year marks the 62nd anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between our 2 countries. In this regard, we are happy that this bond of friendship has led to an even closer relationships over the last decade. We particularly appreciate the Swiss' consistent contribution to develop pragmatic cooperation in a wide range of areas, to the mutual benefit of our peoples and in the interest of maintaining peace and stability of the world. We are happy to note that Myanmar and Switzerland have been closely collaborating in the areas of common interest, such as vocational skills development, agriculture and food security, health, trade, investment, education, health, and culture.
With the political and economic development in Myanmar, more Swiss companies from different sectors, such as machinery, energy, health, food, and lifestyle, have started to trade with and invest in Myanmar, focusing mostly on high-quality products in line with Switzerland's reputation. This is Agajo reporting for Myanmar International Radio.
That's a report on guests enjoying the Swiss National Day in Yangon. Let's take a look at the weather conditions now in Myanmar. In Yangon, it's going to be cloudy and a thunderstorm in spots in the morning and a couple of thunderstorms during the day. However, a shower or thunderstorm in spots in the evening, otherwise plenty of clouds at night. The daily outlook is around 30 degrees Celsius high, but it's going to feel like 34 degrees Celsius. There's a 64% chance of rain for the day. In Naypyidaw, it's going to be cloudy and a couple of soaking showers during the day. However, plenty of clouds and showers at night. The daily outlook is around 28 degrees Celsius high, but it feels like 34 degrees Celsius. 73% chance of rain for the day. Looking ahead, expect showery weather through late Saturday night. In Mandalay, it's going to be mostly cloudy and a brief shower or two during the day, but there'll be plenty of clouds at night. The daily outlook is around 34 degrees Celsius high, but it feels like 37 degrees Celsius, 57% chance of rain for the day. We have our second report from Williamson, and we'll take a look at the stocks and currency exchange rates right after that. There are 2.4 million disabled persons in Myanmar according to the census collected in 2014. But there are very few job opportunities for the disabled persons, and they are also not given proper protection when it comes to their rights, and abuses are committed against them. Therefore, to ensure the life of these disabled persons are secured and to educate them, a workshop organized by Myanmar Physically Handicapped Association was held on Thursday at Panda Hotel in Yangon. Williamson gives us more details about the workshop.
According to 2014 census, there are 2.3 million disabled persons in Myanmar, which covers 4.6% of the whole population. These disabled persons include physical impairment, vision disability, and learning disability, and hearing disability. Out of these 4.6 disabled persons in Myanmar, it is reported that 68.2% are with physical impairment, 13.3% are persons with visual impairment, 10.4% are persons with hearing impairment, and the remaining 8% have some form of intellectual disability. Many times, the people with disability are not given the required attention at homes or the society. Moreover, there are some incidents where the people take advantage of a person's disability and oppress disabled ones. There are several incidents which happen to disabled persons in Myanmar where disabled persons are abused physically and mentally. But many times these incidents are not heard and not reported. With the aim to protect disabled persons from different kinds of abuses and ensure their livelihood, Myanmar Physically Handicapped Association held a workshop on 1st of August 2019 at Panda Hotel in Yangon. Now let's hear from U Ong Ko Min, the chairman of Myanmar Physically Handicapped Association.
Justice is not only needed by disabled persons. All the people want justice. It is also important to take a note that we don't harm others' rights while trying to get our rights. Therefore, while trying to do justice among the disabled persons, we also need to be careful that other disabled persons may not be hurt. And the second part is job and opportunity, which is also similar to rights for disabled persons. As a human being, we all go through childhood, school days, and then having job, and then when we get old, we go for religious practice. This is how life is. As we all want job opportunity, we disabled persons are also in need of job and opportunity, more than the common people. So therefore, our association is working on gaining this job opportunity, as well as justice to the victims of abuses.
Although there are 2.3 million disabled persons in Myanmar, only 15% of them have jobs. The rest are unemployed. But majority of the employed disabled persons are not working decent works. The statement released by Myanmar Physically Handicapped Association stated that only 3% of working disabled persons have decent jobs. The rest are doing random jobs such as selling newspaper, selling lottery ticket, and flowers. Therefore, they are also hoping to get decent jobs like other people. Now, once again, let's hear from Myanmar Win, the General Secretary of Myanmar Physically Handicapped Association.
The main problem with the job opportunity for us is that once we are recognized as disabled, we are given a picture of incapability. Therefore, most of the times, disabled persons are made to learn hair cutting. It does not matter whether that person wants to learn it or not, but what would you do if you are not interested in the work that you're doing? The society has this kind of prototype for disabled persons when it comes to jobs. If you are a disabled person, you do this job, problem, and that's what our society tells. But these are several areas where we want to work and follow our passion. In some part, we still have a culture of making wives work in the kitchen and the husbands go to work. The problem in our country is the change is so fast in these areas where it is not required, but we don't bring changes to the areas where it is needed the most.
And now let's hear from Wu Chung Ong, one of disabled persons, speaking to MI Radio.
Most of disabled persons are unemployed, as we all know. Lack of educational qualification is also the main reason for us in finding jobs. But if we think carefully, the main obstacle for us is disabled persons going to the workplaces, as not many of workplaces have space for disabled persons. Therefore, majority of qualified disabled persons are not able to work. The message we would like to convey to everyone is that have sympathy towards the people like us, and to the business persons, take more of disabled persons at workplace and support the life of disabled persons.
This is Hunlinson reporting for MI Radio.
That's a report on rights and job opportunity for disabled persons in Myanmar. We're now going to take a look at currency rates from Myanmar Central Bank. $1 is at 1,513 kyats. 1 Chinese renminbi is at 219 kyats. 1 euro is at 1,671 kyats. 1 pound sterling is at 1,833 kyats. 1 Singapore dollar is at 1,100 kyats. 1 Malaysian ringgit is at 365 kyats. 1 Thai baht is at 49 kyats, and the Indian rupee is at 21 kyats. Gold is trading at $1,432. Silver is at $16, and Brent crude oil is at $55. On the Yangon Stock Exchange, FMI remains at 11,000. MTSH is at 3,400. MCB remains at 8,000. FPB also remains at 24,500. TMH is down 50 at 2,950. That's the currency rates and Yangon Stock Exchange. You're still with us on MI Radio's Myanmar Today. You can visit our website at miradio.com.mm and listen to our radio programs live on the website. If you're on FM, catch us on 96.1 FM in Yangon, 96.5 in Mandalay, and 96.7 in Naypyidaw. You can also download MI Radio app on both iOS and Android devices, so you can listen to our radio programs from anywhere in the world. One last report from DJ Henry Zin on new books launched by Gender Equality Network. Gender Equality Network, GEN, has launched 2 new books titled Transformative Women Leaders in Myanmar Society, Volume 2, and CEDAW. About 20 women leaders from Myanmar society are mentioned in the first book, and the second book, CEDAW, is the translated version of 7 major ethnic languages of Myanmar. DJ Henry Zin has the story.
Gender Equality Network, GEN, has launched 2 new books on 1st August at Melia Hotel, Yangon. The newly released books are named Transformative Women Leaders in Myanmar Society, Volume 2, and CEDAW. First of all, let's hear from Ms. Bepu, the writer of GEN, talking about the 2 books.
The first book we are launching is the Volume 2 of Transformative Women Leaders in Myanmar Society. We have published the first volume in 2016. The second book is the translation version of CEDAW, which is the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women. It has 7 ethnic languages.
In the book Transformative Women Leaders in Myanmar Society, 20 women of different religions and ethnic groups from the society are mentioned.
We selected the women who are the leaders in different sectors and who have overcome the challenges and obstacles to reach to the leadership role. We also focused the women are doing the jobs for the benefit of the community. Those women leaders are not well known by the public, so we distribute this book to honor and acknowledge them.
CEDAW Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, which is usually described as the International Bill of Rights for Women, is the treaty adopted in 1979 by the UN General Assembly. It defines the constitution of discrimination against women and includes the agenda for national action to end such discrimination.
Myanmar has signed the CEDAW in 1997 as a member country. As a member country, the women development in the country has to be reported every 4 years. The UN CEDAW Committee has given the feedback and suggestions, which include distribution of CEDAW among the women in the country, the stakeholders, and the decision makers. In our country, many ethnic groups are living in harmony, and for some ethnic groups, it is easier to understand by reading in their own language. So we publish the translation version of CEDAW in the languages of the 7 major ethnic groups of Myanmar.
Gender Equality Network is established with 140 members from different local organizations, NGOs, INGOs, and technicians who are performing for gender equality in Myanmar. As they have done many activities concerning gender equality, Dom Isabel mentioned the most important challenge for women's rights in Myanmar.
The most important issues that Myanmar women are facing as a challenge is the fewer chances to be able to take part in leadership and decision-making roles. Although women have access to education, career life, and voting for election, the chances are lesser for higher position for women. It is called glass ceiling, which means the unseen barrier to higher achievements. We have to change the way of seeing women as not being able to lead or make decisions.
One of the women who is mentioned in the book, Dordemba Kaira, supervisor of the Kachin National Social Development Foundation, said,
I'm from Pakan Township of Kachin State, where different ethnics are living. There are many women who are facing sexual abuse. Those who don't have proper qualification for career life have to work as sex workers, and they are also encountering the violence. The domestic violence are also happening there. We have many issues to solve, but they prefer to solve according to their traditional ways rather than going according to the laws. When they are trying to follow their traditional ways, the decision makers are only males, so they decide the women issues depending on the perspective of males. This can lessen the rights of victim women.
She also talked about what is necessary for the knowledge awareness of gender equality in their state.
In the big cities like Yangon or Mandalay, many workshops and awareness providing programs are being conducted, but in our state it's rare. We don't have enough budget, so we are difficult in providing awareness programs. It's more effective to read about the rights of women in their own language, but we also need to provide discussions about the book to attract them to read.
That's all for now. This is Dora Susin from MI Radio.
That's all the reports we have for today. Now let's explore a little more to see if there's anything strange or interesting happening around the world. Apple, tweet, cloud, stream. Words that once conjured vivid visions of the countryside are now synonymous with our technological world. And a National Trust study suggests just 1% of users of the word tweet in conversation now refer to bird song. Similarly, while in the 1990s, 100% of mentions of stream meant a little river, that has now fallen to 36%. 1 in 4 parents and grandparents surveyed worried about children losing the original natural meanings of words. Dr. Robbie Love, a linguistics fellow at the University of Leeds who conducted the study, told BBC News, "A lot of new tech is abstract and difficult to understand, which makes it ripe for metaphor. And simple and vivid words help to express something harder to explain." He said, "It makes it easy for people to talk about tech they perhaps don't understand themselves." Stream nicely describes the idea of information flowing into our devices, and without the word, it would be hard to describe this complex process. In other news, An internet provider is offering a one-weekend dream job to someone willing to take a weekend vacation free from phones and computers. SatelliteInternet.com said the Digital Detox Challenge is offering $1,000 to someone willing to spend a weekend at Joshua Tree National Park in Southern California. But they have to give up using any tech devices for 2 of the 3 days. The company said, quote-unquote, in true millennial style, you can pull out your tech on the last day to document and share your experience. The selected person, who will be chosen August the 26th from applications on the firm's website, will be put up in a retro Airbnb with amenities including air conditioning, a hot tub, a pool, and running water. And that's a wrap on Myanmar Today. We're now broadcasting the program on MITV every evening, Monday to Friday at 8:30. You can also join me on MI Radio from 7:30 a.m. to 8 a.m., 1 to 1:30 p.m. and from 7:30 to 8 in the evening. Also, don't forget to drop your comments and messages on our Facebook post. Thank you for joining us on Myanmar Today. I am Henry Zin. The week has finally come to an end, so have a great weekend, everyone.